Hey guys, welcome to another 3 count with Gino. And Toddy just left. Chunky! Here she comes. She's back again, guys. Been a rainy, shitty kind of day here in Vancouver, so Doggy here, aka Toddy, can be full of a lot of energy tonight, as you can see. And she's kind of starving for attention, so this one might be an interesting video for me to talk, but I don't mind, and I hope you guys don't either. Um, let's get right into it. We're gonna do Crown Jewel predictions, and we're also gonna do something a lot of people don't do, which is predictions for the pay-per-view for Impact. You see a lot of people really doing TNA, but I think TNA is going to be the company that will take over where AEW are failed, because I don't know if you guys saw the ratings, but AEW once again, with their 2.5 hour show, fell in the ratings by almost 400 viewers to NXT on Tuesday. So the main rival to WWE failed against their developmental company and the developmental company's partner. Yet people want to talk shit about WWE. Also, some little bit of a lighter note before we do these predictions. It's kind of like a little bit of a Black Friday around wrestling, I guess you can say, or at least WWE. 4 people have now left the WWID program. Sorry, 3, and they're all women. So the WWID women program had 4 women in it. So that's pretty much done. So the ID program is pretty much done for WWE, at least the women's. Um, One of them was Kylie Race, who everybody knows me knows I'm a huge fan of that girl. Her contract was not renewed due to the fact that she got pregnant, kind of fucked up. Because everyone else that got pregnant, WWE left to stay with the company. Um, um, Zeta Steele, who's got a really, really future in wrestling, is gone from the WWE. She had to refuse their contract renewal. And just announced Stevie Turner, the GM of Evolve, won't even make their very first pay-per-view, as she has left the company. Cody, what you doing? Let me just pull up the card here, guys, and we'll get right into that. We'll break down the Impact pay-per-view as well. Let me just pull it up quickly. So I don't know. You guys give me your thoughts on what you think of Kylie Ray, Stevie Turner, and Zeta Steele leaving WWE. Let me just pull up the TNA pay-per-view here. Bound for Glory. There we go, guys. Bound for Glory. I forgot what it was called for a sec. We'll pull up that card too. And also, the Iconics are working on an expiring contract. Apparently, their contracts expire this weekend, so the inspirations are known in TNA. But let's get right into the predictions here. We're going to start with the one that's happening on Saturday. The 2 partners are going back to back. Saturday, it's WWE from Australia at 5 a.m. here in Vancouver, or in Canada in general. And then Sunday, we've got the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. We have 2 Crown Jewel Championship matches. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, which is more than likely going to main event the whole card, and Stephanie McMahon and Tiffany Stratton. In between that, we have John Cena, AJ Styles, we have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and we have Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Um, AJ Styles and John Cena one last time. AJ Styles just announced in Australia this weekend that this is going to be his last year of wrestling. He was retiring in 2026. And for those of you that have no freaking clue what that means, you have no idea how much of a game changer this dude was in wrestling. He's going to be missed, just like Cena is missed. Um, we have 2.5 months left of Cena, guys. So I'm fixing my mic here. There we go. A little bit better, right? We have also different setup if you guys don't know I'm at using a different mic today. Um we have 2.5 months left of Cena. And like I said, I was never the biggest Cena fan, but that man did a lot for this industry. And I don't know if you guys have seen him walk lately, but he could barely fucking walk. Um but let's get right into those predictions. I think we're gonna have AJ Styles and John Cena kick off the show. Just solely because I think it's the way WWE's gonna plan this. It's either that or the street fight. we know that the men's what's it called Crown Jewel titles ending the show. Um, I don't know which way WWE's gonna do this. Is Cena gonna go on his back until the end and then finally win his last match? There's a rumor that he is going to be fighting Dominic Mysterio at San Diego for the Intercontinental title, and it's the only thing Cena's never won, so maybe Cena wins that. But he has to get some momentum before he gets to that, right? Maybe you can say he's the guy that beat AJ Styles, and AJ Styles is the guy that can't beat Dominic Mysterio, so Dominic Mysterio thinks he can beat John Cena as well. They've never actually wrestled each other. Maybe Cena would tell Dominic Mysterio he's tired of the disrespect he's giving his dad. Um, but that's the neither here nor there. I'm trying to think out how to skirt around this issue. I don't think AJ Styles needs the win, and John Cena doesn't need to give AJ Styles a rep because it's not a veteran going out giving a rookie the rub, right? Um, that's why I'm so conflicted as to who's going to win this. Is AJ just John Cena going to do the thing that AJ Styles pick up a victory in his last match ever in Australia? Well, both their last matches ever in Australia. There's John Cena be the guy that gets the win in Australia. Remember, AJ Styles has 2 wins and John Cena has one in the few times they've wrestled each other, right? So and they've all been classic matches. I don't think AJ Styles knows how to have a bad match. So it's going to be. I think AJ Styles might lose this match solely because he's in a tag team with Dragon Lee. Yes, that's right. So I think they might give AJ the tag team title straps due to the fact that he's going to add a job to John Cena here. But people, I think that's a bad thing. AJ Styles and John Cena don't need really this at all type of idea, if that makes sense. And it's not really a job, it's AJ Styles paying respect to legitimately one of the guys that kept the industry alive when it was struggling in its darkest hours. In its TNA versus the WWE one last time, and unlike what they did to WCW, where Vince McMahon had to make sure he buried WCW and showed his wrestlers were inferior, or the wrestlers, sorry, Triple H is allowed TNA guys to come in and could pick up wins. I just think this being the last ever time John Cena is going to be in Australia as a wrestler, and yes, AJ Styles as well, but still more John Cena has more of that global feel to him than AJ Styles, if you know what I mean. And he's done this tour a few more times than AJ Styles. And the fact that he's lost a couple on this retirement tour, I think John Cena is going to win this match. It's going to be an instant classic. Don't miss it. I'm going to sorry. The next match is going to be the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. And this one might shock you guys. I don't think the baby faces are going to win. This is a not newly formed, it's a newly turned heel Asuka with a very submissive Kyrie, who I think is going to show their true colors this weekend and actually go with Asuka the whole way and do some underlying tactics. Maybe she even uses Mist in this match as well. Who knows? Um, both Io and Kyrie, Rhea and Io are so over that they don't need this one, even though it's in Rhea's hometown or country, whatever you want to say. Um, I think the fact that the Kabuki Warriors have just both turned heel, and after having that long, cool little babyface run alongside Io for a while, I think to solidify Asuka as a psychopathic heel, she has to get this win solely because she ate that pin from Rhea a couple weeks ago. But then again, Kyrie beat Io with help from Asuka on Raw this week. So it's kind of like a 50-50 booking, and you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't idea here with the tag match. Um, I just think it makes more sense personally for the Kabuki Warriors to win this match. Just keep this feud going a little bit longer so that it's just a one and done type of idea like WWE likes to do certain matches and certain feuds. I think they can ride this one for a little bit and maybe even get it into one of their later pay-per-views. Maybe add it to a women's elimination chamber match. Not chamber match, elimination war games match at the Survivor Series in San Diego. Add a few new players in. Even make the Kabuki Warriors a threat to the women's tag team titles if they beat Io and Rhea. being two former champions, Kyrie's never really went. Kyrie's the only person in this match that's never been allowed to carry the women's championship in WWE, just the NXT one. Imagine her getting the pin on either one of those two. That'd be huge for Kyrie, and it'd also be brilliant to keep this feud going. So therefore, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say Kyrie is going to pin Rhea, and I've heard rumors, and maybe it's true, maybe they're not. She is from the region. Maybe Dakota Kai returns and helps becomes a member of the Kabuki Warriors. Who knows, man? WWE was interested in bringing her back in at one point, so we'll see. There's rumors. I think following that, we're going to be getting the Australian Brutal Street Fight match, and we're not going to have two Australians lose on the same card in Australia. Roman Reigns doesn't need to win. He's too busy over there manipulating main event Jay, and being that asshole he's always been. Bronson Reed kind of needs this one a little bit more, I think, personally. Roman's that uber duper echelon superstar, and I'm a fan of Bronson Reed, and that guy's going to be something so big. I can feel it. He's just waiting to explode. He needs that one big win. I see Braun somehow getting involved in this match and helping Bronson win, and Jay and Jimmy trying to get involved, and they help screw over Roman. And he's going to look at Jim, and tell Jim, "I told you to stay out of my god business." And just blame everything on Jim and tell Jay, "See, this is what happens when you hang around people like this and aren't at our level, like he's manipulating on Raw." If you guys know what I mean, if you've seen it, it's going to further drive that wedge between the Usos. And I think this is a tale of two stories in this match alone. It's going to plant a whole bunch of different things. It's going to make Bronson ride off into that sunset where he has a huge ass win. And him and Braun are going to be able to hold that for a while because they're going to be able to claim they did together, even with only Bronson in the match. Um, but I think it's the right call here to give Bronson the win over Roman here to even the series 1-1 because last time we had their match, it was in France and Braun left Roman on a stretcher out of the arena. But Roman needs that payback. I don't think he needs it in this match. You have this clean little definitive sweep over Bronson. I think Paul Heyman will kind of convince Roman of that. And then we can have this feud go another bit longer and have that in the War Games match, and then we'll see what side Jay actually goes on. And I think sometime in that War Game match, Jay may turn heel. That's my personal theory. That's neither here for there. Toddy greases me. She's over there hiding. After that, I think we're gonna have the women's crown jewel match, and I think Stephanie needs to go. Tiffy has to go back heel, but I think Stephanie's gonna win this match early because she has just become the new women's champion. And if you guys saw SmackDown today, it was Tiffy who got the pin on Kiana James, so therefore, with help from Steffi, therefore I think since Tiffy got the pin today in this match, I think that Steffi's gonna be. I think Steffi is going to have the advantage here and have this victory due to the fact I think WWE thinks highly of her more than so Tiffy, even though Tiffy is absolutely incredible. But I think Tiffy should turn heel right after this match and attack Steffi. She goes for a handshake to celebrate and have a great match because this match is not going to be anything but great. And that rocket ship is going to keep growing onto the back of Stephanie. She carries this women's division. I think it's going to be one of the matches of the entire weekend, possibly. Um, but I think this one's kind of simple, cut and simple for me. This one here. I think it's Stephanie has to win solely because she just recently became champion. Tiffy's been champion for over a year and kind of a forgettable run. That leads us to, um, well, we know that leads us to the undisputed the WWE SmackDown champion and the World Heavyweight champion Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes representing Raw and SmackDown. It is right now 4-0, I believe, Cody. No, 3-0. Sorry, Cody. And I think Seth definitely needs this win more than anyone can imagine just to make his actual heel turn value believable and value. What's the word I'm looking for? Validated. There you go. The fact that and the fact that he's telling us like Cody in his head, he's not interacting well with other people. I don't know if you guys saw what happened with their little press conference today in Australia before Seth could even say anything. He just walked off stage. He didn't say a word. Even left Paul Heyman shocked. Um, Me personally, I think Cody's gonna lose this match. He has to lose this match. There's no value in Cody beating Seth again. I think the division's going to get involved to prove to help Seth that Seth is going to get them to leave because he wants to do this on his own. He's going to be able to do this on his own. And he'll come back on Raw and be like, see, I told you guys I had this vision and it's going to work and this is how it's going to play itself out. Like I said, I don't think Cody needs this win. I think Seth needs it far more. Because you can't have your world champion losing repeatedly to the same guy. A guy who wasn't a part of your company and then years ago wasn't even part of the future of your company. Now he's all of a sudden back and Seth so single-handedly been carrying this company for the last 5, 6 years. Roman on his part-time schedule there. But that's my predictions for that. I will be watching this later on in the afternoon as I have to be doing work for most of Saturday. So I will give you guys my ratings and my reviews on each and every single one of these matches as it happens on the follow up, and I'll find a way to watch Bound for Glory as well. But let's pull that up. All right, guys. Bound for Glory is coming at us this Saturday, October the 12th, from TNA, who's in partnership with WWE. We already know that. So, it's on the kickoff. Okay, we got the Inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay versus the Elegance brand, Heather and Amber Elegance with the personal concierge for the TNA Tag Team Championships of the World. I think this might be the end of the Elegance brand solely because Ash is no longer able to compete. She was forced to Dana Brooke, Ash by Elegance, whatever you want to call her, was forced to relegate her title due to health concerns. And I'm not a biggest fan of Ash by Elegance, Dana Brooke, whatever you want to call her. Um, no matter what, speedy, healthy, all that matters is health and happiness, my dad used to say. So I wish nothing but good to her story. And I hope whatever is ailing her is able to get fixed, but we will never see her in the ring again. Tommy Dreamer confirmed that there is some sort of illness. I won't say what it is, but unfortunate that it is ended her career when she was just getting on a run with that title. I'm not going to say a bad word about her because I have in the past. I'm not going to now because this is serious. But that being skirted around the issue, the Inspiration are on those expiring contracts. Apparently, they want to stay with TNA. TNA wants to keep them. They're just working on the deal. I think the Elegance brand is going to break up. I think M is going to turn on Heather, and Heather will be out of the company soon. I think a personal concierge is going to go with M because I think the future's brighter with her. And I like Heather Reckless a lot, but I don't see Impact thinking a lot of her because whenever the Elegance brand loses, it's her getting pinned. That's my theory. Leon Slater versus Javon Evans going to steal the entire weekend. That's all I'm going to say about that. Leon Slater pinned Javon Evans in the Survivor Series match. I think there's going to be a reversal of roles here. We're going to have a new TNA X Division champion. Javon Evans is going to carry that belt for a little bit, and then he's going to drop it right back to Leon Slater and hit to the main roster. My personal theory. Call your shot gauntlet match, intergender men and women. The winner receives a trophy and a contract they can invoke anytime. The 1 year championship of their choosing. I don't know how they're going to pull this off with men and women. Both Li Yang Li is the very first woman in the match, and Mance Warner. I don't know how they're going to pull this off with men and women interacting with each other. I don't know who's going to go where. I don't know how this is going to go. Oof, interesting. I'm going to say Li Yang. Or sorry, I'm going to say Indy Hardwell. No, sorry, not Indy Hardwell. I'm going to go with um. Yeah, what's her name? One part. Oh, she was part of the NXT brand. Fuck, I can't think of her name right now. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The British girl with the blonde green hair. Can't think of her name. Too stoked. She's going to win this match. She's gonna wait for the Sorry guys, I was thinking of what plays out in my head. I cannot think of her goddamn Danny Luna. Danny Luna's gonna win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. She's gonna wait till after the women's title match, and she's gonna win the title that night. I think Impact's gonna do something. Or TNA, sorry. My favorite, well, you guys know who. what I think of this person coming up, and it's Tessa Blanchard wrestling Gia Miller. Gia Miller is a TNA interview who actually does have a wrestling background. She was trained as a wrestler. She's more of a ring personality. I think it's going to be a fighting underdog story. I think Tessa's going to torture her half the match. She's going to get her shots in. And I know Tessa's a divided, very divisive figure. And people at Edmonds are listening to this podcast or see me go on social media, I defend the fuck out of Tessa because, like I said, he without class then cast the first stone and also hear say. Until somebody can actually have physical proof that Tessa said what she said or done what she's done, stop talking shit, please. Tessa, I think, is the best wrestler on the planet Earth, and she has been for a long time. Girl just does everything effortlessly. Everything about her is believable. I think Jim Miller has a chance to make this a believable underdog story because Tess who she's in the ring with, and she will have a lot of 1-2 false finishes. But I think Tessa Blanchard is going to win this match, and she's going to absolutely devastate Jim Miller. But if she does lose, which I don't think may happen, um, may make Tessa more of a badass because she may just destroy Jim Miller after the match with Foxy. Frankie Kazarian versus Steve Macklin. I don't know which way they're going to go with this. I like Steve Macklin a lot. I also like Frankie Kazarian a lot. It's for the title that Steve Macklin had for damn near a year, the International Championship. Frankie Kazarian just recently got it. I don't think he's going to drop out in his first match unless he's going to be heading out the door soon to retire. Um, I don't know. I'm going to say Steve Macklin. The System, Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards and JDC versus Order 4, which is Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steele, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hodge, and John Schuyler. 10 persons into Hardcore War. This match is going to be violent. This match is going to be brilliant. Moose is an absolute beast of a human being. Eddie Edwards was one of the best wrestlers in the world for a while. Alicia Edwards is the weakest part in this entire match, in my personal opinion. Just never seen an Alicia Edwards matchup, and holy shit, she's good. Not once ever. And I'm not talking shit about it, just beyond my personal opinion. She could stand out in this match and do some things. I don't see it happening. Tasha Steeles is an absolute superstar, in my opinion. The girl's got charisma. She's got style. She's incredible in the ring. She's got the ability to talk on the mic coming out her ass. This girl's so good. My personal opinion. Big fan of Tasha Steeles. Um, I don't know if you guys saw this weekend's match between Mustafa Ali and Ethan Page is probably going to be one of the top 5 matches of the entire year. Absolutely fucking incredible. And if you were surprised, then you're an idiot. Those are two very, very, very good wrestlers. They've wrestled several times before in Chicago against each other. Um, yeah, I'm stalling for an answer here. I'm gonna have to say the System wins. To get revenge for JDC when he got destroyed by Order 4. Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hardwell. Kalani Jordan just won that title. But due to the fact that JC Jane was injured, and we don't know how badly JC Jane was injured, also shout out to JC Jane's speedy recovery. For those of you that don't know, she suffered a bad leg injury yesterday at a house show in Tampa Bay. There's speculation it may be a torn quad, we're not sure yet. So Kalani may drop this thing to Indy and head back to NXT, and maybe we'll see what they do with the NXT Women's Championship, or just all waiting on JC Jane. So I'm purely speculating. But I think Indy, I don't know if you guys saw when Kalani Jordan won the title, it seemed like she was kind of turning a little heelish and upset that Kalani had won the match. And then after she got selected as captain of Team TNA with Indy there, kind of could see a little bit more heelish actions towards Indy. And just her facial expressions and everything. Um, yeah, I think Indy Hartwell wins this match. Because I think Kalani Jordan may be going after the NXT Women's Championship if JC Jane is hurt as bad as people think she is. Personal opinion. Following that, we got the Hardys versus the Dudley Boys, aka Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon Dudley, or Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, whatever you want to call them. The Hardy Boys will now officially won the NXT Tag Team Championship, so they've won everything everywhere they've gone. except for AEW, and I don't think they ever needed to have an AEW title run. They weren't at that level. Um, this is called the one final table match because it's the very last match for Team 3D, Bully Ray and Devon Dudley, whatever you want to call them, the Dudley Boys. I think this match is going to be very, 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 very difficult to watch. It may just very well be the worst match of the entire weekend because, as legendary and as great as these four people are, they are all well past their prime. I don't know if you guys saw NXT this weekend. There were a few botches in that match, and I think Dark State tried the best they could to carry that match with the Hardys, but Jeff was just not work cooperating well, or I don't know what's happening, and neither was Matt. There's just certain instances where nothing was connecting. The Hardy Boys, Devon Dudley has not wrestled in a long time, and I do not think WWE or NXT want the Hardy Boys or Impact, sorry, TNA want the Hardy Boys dropping titles to these guys. This one's extremely predictable. I hope it's short. I hope it's sweet. I hope there's a few cool table bumps. This match is not going to go more than 10 minutes. I'm a huge fan of all four of these guys. I've done a lot for wrestling, a lot for tag team wrestling, but I think it might be time for all four of them to just say goodbye. And this is a great poetic way for them to say goodbye. It would have been awesome for three teams, all six teams to be involved, but unfortunately, two of them are contractually obligated to outside company, aka AEW. Never going to see this match with three teams again, unfortunately. But what a run those six guys had in the early 2000s, man. So I'm just getting emotional thinking about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. Hardy Boys win, plain simple. Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. I tell you, Trick Williams has had an incredible run with this TNA title. He's been extremely hated. He plays a little bit of coward route with TNA and Impact and NXT on Wednesday or Tuesday, sorry. Kind of cost his team the match. I have a weird feeling Ricky Saints is going to get involved, cost Trick Williams this match, leaving Trick Williams to Ricky Saints for that NXT title. But Mike Santana has had hell of a 2025. I think he deserves to run this belt. And like AEW like stars like NXT like to say, Tony fumbled with Ricky Saints. I think AEW fumbled with Mike Santana. Never even giving him a chance to be a singles wrestler. I think he's going to be able to carry this belt, carry Impact for TNA for a while. He's a great babyface champion. The crowd absolutely loves this man. And he's charismatic as fuck. He can go in the ring. He has a presence about him. His name is Mark Sanchez, by the way, like butt fumble Sanchez. But yeah, I think there's a possibility that they may tease the fact that Santana's gonna win and have Ricky Saints cost Santana. I don't think that's gonna be the outcome here. I think Santana has to win this belt. I think the belt needs to come off of Trick for Impact that or TNA to become a complete relevant, viable company that can actually go after AEW and take them out of that number two spot. They actually have the belt on their brand instead of having their championship whining wherever. Um, I think it's gonna be a very good pay per view. I don't think a lot of people realize outside of that last tables match. I think it's a very, very good pay per view. Enjoy this weekend's wrestling, guys. You've seen all my predictions. If you have any predictions of your own, leave it in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.